My name's Noel Marshall. I'm back here in my home county of Cork, that's in Southern Ireland, and today we're going to build a beautiful brick barbecue. What you've got here is your standard barbecue grill and grate. Now we're going to build two side by side because it can be a little bit small if you're feeding a lot of people. Therefore, if you're throwing a big party, fire them both up. Small group, just fire up the one. You'll have the option. It's going to be 11 courses of bricks high. It's 7.5 bricks here at the back, coming out 2 bricks at each side, a brick and a half here in the middle. So we'll start by laying on the back wall. To lay on our first course, we lay on the 2 corners, roughly where they're going to be. Of course, the first bed of mortar goes on freehand, so we'll do that. I'm using this stick here to give me a line, so I know exactly where everything is going. Of course, I'll use the bricky here to butter up the end of each brick, just like so. We'll pop him on. That's our first corner in place. I'll now lay out the second corner here, and we'll check them for level. We'll pull our string line, and we'll lay on the bricks then in between. So to check that our corners are level, there's a couple of ways we could do this. Of course, we could use our laser level. Probably the easiest way again, I'll just get my stick here, which is a straight edge. We'll place this on top. And we'll place our level on this. And lo and behold, that's actually quite level. So I've put a good thick bed of mortar underneath each corner, that if one needed to be tapped down, we'd be able to tap it down. So I'll just give them both a tap down, just like so, so they're good and solid. And there it is, that's still level. I'll now pull my string line, of course using our mason's mate. And we'll pop on the bricks then in between. Quite simply, we'll set him here at the corner. We'll lock the line in here first. Get it, pull the line through. We'll lock it on here at this end. There we are, that'll hold it. Set it on there. Okay, so that's my line stretched. We can now lay on the bricks in between. Of course, using the vertical guide to apply the vertical joints. Now each grate takes 3 bricks in length, so this will be our dividing section here. So this brick will be coming in like this. Just to cater for that, just pop in our mortar there and we'll pop him in. Again, this edge now, we're looking to touch the string line. We'll just pop the level on him as well actually, just to make sure he's not too far away. That's very good. Okay, and just these 2 now to pop in. And that'll be our back wall in place. Or at least the first course of it. As you see, I'm coming to the joining here. Now this isn't fitting in perfect. This corner needs to move back about an inch or 25 millimeters, so it's going to set in right, but that's fine. I'll just need to loosen my string line, move these back ever so slightly, just like so. Just back another tiny bit so we'll have even joints all the way. That's spot on now with that. We'll just loosen our string line and reapply the mason's mate. That's all good. We only need to do this in the first course because once you map out the first course, everything comes straight up vertically from that. Okay, we'll now lay out our side walls in the bit here in the centre, but these are so short, we're not going to use the mason's mate in the line here. It'll be a case of just using our level to bring it out level. And I lay on the grate here again, of course, to check that it comes out square also. We want to make sure our grill and grate fits in after. Okay, so again, I'll just lay on the bed of mortar here freehand. Okay, there it is. So there's two things I want to check for. That it's level, of course. Let's use my hammer to tap this, save my hand. And as you can see here, it's a little bit off level. So that's what you always do. Put a good thick bed of mortar on so you can tap it down then till it's level. You don't want to be going in after trying to lift it up. So it's, and that's level. Okay, so that's this wall level. It's reasonably straight. We'll just use the level here on this. It's so short, we wouldn't use the string line. So just one other thing we want to check is that we have a right angle here, and that the grate and grill is going to fit in perfectly after. So you just want to make sure you have a reasonable right angle so that it fits in nicely after. We have about an inch or 25 millimeter slack here movement in it anyway. So that will be fine. And now lay on this brick. Now this brick here, this wall here in the centre is only coming out a brick and a half from this point. So we already have half a brick. So it's just a full brick coming out here. Okay, we'll lay on this one. We'll check it in with our grate to see that it's that everything is square. Okay. Okay, so that's our first course level all around. We now just want to check that everything is at right angles and square. We know this angle here is square. This one is just, that's it. Let's check it again at this side. That's perfect. And this wall just needs a slight tap out, which you can do with the grate, just like that. Perfect. So right, we now have our first course laid out. It's level, it's square, it's very simple now. All we got to do is bring the next 10 courses straight up in vertical alignment. Now I'll show you all the points we'll need to check, but we'll lay on a bed of mortar here first. Now the beauty is we can now use the bricky. This will ensure our joints are kept uniform and clean. So now I use the same sequence on every single course for building a barbecue. It's actually a little bit tricky with the smaller walls, but if you follow this sequence you won't have a problem. We lay on this bit here first, just like so, and we'll fill that up with more. Now putting on this piece, again, we've only the lug here at one side, so we need to keep it pressed against this wall, and I'll use my finger here just to ensure that that's in the correct position, and fill it up. So that should be good. Okay. Just this piece. Okay, so that's our mortar bed laid on all around. Now, as we're building up, all we got to do is check that we're coming straight up vertically. And there's 10 points on this barbecue that we need to check. It's quite a lot actually for such a small structure, but it's better to check them and ensure that it's all straight. I'll point the 10 of them out to you now as I put on the first brick. So this will be going on here, obviously. And we're using a full brick, so we cross our joint. Okay, press it down into so we get a tight, secure joint. Now we'll check it here. That is vertically level. Just needs a tap in. Back slightly. Once it's reasonable, we're not overly concerned. So we'll call this our first point, and our second point in here is just the other side of the brick here. So it's coming up vertically here as well. Okay, and that's level there. So that's level. Now our next 2 points will be here and here. again at this end. We said that's 2 and 3. This is 4 and 5. Both these edges. Same on this, here and here, and here and here. If we check them for vertical alignment every time, then we cannot go wrong. So let's pop on the rest of these. Now if you're finding that by the time you get around the corner here, that your mortar bed here is getting too dry, then it means that your bricks aren't moist enough. It often happens, especially in hot weather, where the sun will suck the moisture out of the bricks, and what happens then in turn, the bricks suck the moisture out of the cement, and it starts to go off too quickly, and you don't get a tight joint. It's actually very important that, especially in hot weather, as I say, that you dampen down your bricks, either by sprinkling them with the hose about every hour or so, or even dipping them in a bucket of water for a couple of minutes. But we're fine here. We've plenty of moisture here today, so we've no such problems, thankfully. Okay. That's also reasonably good, and we're coming up here. So all our points now are vertically aligned. We just want to check that they're horizontally aligned. So again, the same thing. We'll pull the string line here. We'll use the small level here. There we go, that's not so bad. How are we looking here? That's fine. Just one. Now to check that our back line is straight, we know both our corners are vertically level, so all we got to do is reapply our mason's mate with the line. It'll always stay in the same position. So set him on there, we'll set it on here, and we'll see how our bricks are. That's, there we are. Our second course laid. The mortar mix I'm using here, it's 4 parts sand to 1 part cement. We've used a 25 kg, that'd be about a 55 pound, if you're an American, bag of cement, and 4 times that sand then. And now I've added a black dye as well. The purpose of that is it gives the bricks a much better appearance. Okay, so we've progressed up now to the 7th course, where we'll now need to cater for our grate. So in order to do that, we'll quite simply leave our bricks run in here to catch it. So what I've done here is cut a 3/4 length brick, which I'm going to lay on here like this. And I'm just leaving that run into the barbecue, so the grate then will set on top of that. It's as simple as that. And I'll do the same here at this side, another 3/4. And here then in the middle, what I'll do is, we'll just use a full brick, leave it run across there, and that'll grab it here in the middle. And now you may notice that I put a pattern into it. So it's 2 courses of red, the corners coming up red and yellow in the middle. It's just the pattern I chose. You don't need to follow that. You can be as creative as you like. Right, so to continue on now, I'm going to need to take this lug off. So we'll have the 2 lugs off at one side of the tool, because they're just catching here a little bit on the bricks on these guys coming out. Okay, so that's reasonably level. That's actually quite good there as well. They don't need to be 100%. Once it's reasonably good, step away from it. You could spend all day getting it 100% perfect. Doesn't need it. Once it's reasonably good, move on. Okay, that's now my, I think 8 course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next course will be the same as the 7th one. To take the, I'll be doing the very same thing here, the bricks coming out. To take the grill, this takes the grate, they'll take the grill. We'll be capping it in with a nice capping of a half brick on edge, pointing it up, and that'll be it done. So we'll crack on and get that done. Okay. There we are, there are pieces to hold our grill. Now all we've got to do is put the, what I'm going to do is put a soldier course of half bricks all the way around it to give it a nice finish. What soldier course means, bricks facing up this way, so you don't have the holes facing up. I'll put a half one straight in like this on each edge. That'll go like that. And I'll just plaster a bit of mortar then up onto this, so there'll be no holes exposed, and we'll have a nice finish. Okay, so we'll, you can observe me doing that, and it's quite straightforward again. Okay. Now, as you can see here, what I'm using to plaster these up is actually the piece for the block, because the brick piece is a little bit short. So, but this works fine. Take off the excess, there we are. We pop them on, just like so. Okay. As you can see, I have a very clever tool here for splitting bricks. It's like a guillotine. I have an edge here, an edge at the bottom. So normally you get a good clean cut with it, as opposed to the bolster where you're just hitting the brick at one edge. You get a lot more waste using the bolster. You still some cut to waste, as you see here with this, but your chances are much better, and it's much quicker as well. If you don't have one, they're available on my website. It's a super tool. Just hold your brick and tap it down along the edge so you get a nice clean cut, just like that. Okay, so I've 9 bricks here now on soldier course. As you can see here, 3 on edge. It's the same length as 1 full brick. 3 bricks there. So there's 9 bricks there. I'll do the same now with this side, these 3 bricks, and run off that side then the same. Now the only thing, so my joints are going to finish even. I need to break the gap here the same as this, so I'll just run a brick in like this. Okay, just as I'm doing here. And I also need a bit of a 10mm gap on this. That should set on there now nicely. Okay. I'm just putting on a channel of mortar here across the centre, as you can see, because our bricks, they've got a hole here in the middle, so when the bricks come down, that'll ooze up in here to it, and it'll give it greater adhesion, making the whole structure stronger. Okay, so what I'm doing here now, the very same as the far side. We'll run six on edge, which will bring us out to here. We'll finish them with a half, plaster it up to it. Right, so there's me Barbie built. Now all we got to do is point it up and put in our grilling grate, and we get cooking. Okay. I know from experience there's quite a temptation to point your wall as you're coming up along, but it's very important not to do that, because when your mortar is wet, you tend to smudge it when you're trying to scrape it off. Leave it set like that, you see, like this here, and when you point it up then, it'll just crisp off and you get a grand clean finish. Whereas if that was wet, you'd be only smudging the edge of the brick here and you get a dirty finish. That's the beauty about my Pro Pointer. No matter what thickness the joint, you'll always get one edge that'll get right into it and give it that perfect finish. Okay, all these. Let this coming out like that, just like that. Take off the excess before we point it. This lot in our grate, our charcoal will go on that, and this is where we'll put the steak. All right, I can't wait. But I gotta wait for about 3 days till the whole thing is fully set, then we'll be cooking. So I'll see you in a few days.